Hey, what's up everyone? This is Nadia and welcome back to my channel where I talk about learning to code and building a career in tech. So I just came from work and I wanted to share some thoughts and feelings while they're still fresh, even though I feel really exhausted. So I've been spending a lot more time in the office lately. This week I've spent 3 out of 3 days in the office, which is pretty strange and hasn't really happened to me since before the pandemic. So it's been almost like more than 2 years of me not going into the office either at all or a lot. And I have to say that I've also been trying to be more self-aware and kind of analyzing the way I feel and the way different things, make me either feel less energetic or more energetic, and kind of things that drain energy and give me energy. And I gotta say that working from the office and in general doing more extrovert activities, it is strange and it has its pros and cons. So on the one hand, I really appreciate and value the chances that I get now to see my colleagues in person and work with them. Today we had a thing where we had a kind of a special team room booked for us where we all hang out for most of the day and worked together and chatted and collaborated and just had a great time. And I do value it and I appreciate it, and I think that the connections that we are making on days like today are really valuable, and this is something that we cannot really replicate remotely. And the moments that we share, I think, are special and they bring value to all of us as a team and also as people. Having said that, I also do find the days that I spend in the office a lot of the time pretty draining for me in terms of energy. And lately I've been reading the book about introverts. I think the book that most people have read who are interested in the topic, or maybe if you haven't, I really recommend it. Check it out. It's called Quiet by Susan Cain. I think the subtitle is I don't remember the subtitle, but basically it's about the power of introverts in the world that can't stop talking. I think this is that's the title. So I've been reading this book and I found a lot of valuable insights in it. So I thought I would share like how this relates to what I've been feeling and what I've been observing. But I think a lot of it comes down to just being pretty self-aware and kind of being honest about what you like and what you enjoy and the things that just don't work for you. So a couple of takeaways that I'm thinking about right now from the book are if you are an introvert and you need to act out of character and you need to do extroverted activities, or vice versa, if you are an extrovert but you need to do introverted activities and those things are hard for you, you need to be kind of prepare yourself for doing those things and making sure that you don't do too much of the stuff that is out of character for you. So if you're planning to, I will give examples for introverts because this is something that I understand better. So if you have plans to network and if you have plans to meet people, or if you have plans to give a speech or do something like that, it's probably not the great idea to schedule too much of the stuff for just 1 week or 1 day. And I say this, but this is totally not what I did. And I had recently days when I had like 3 extrovert activities planned for 1 day, which was really too much. But ideally you shouldn't do that, and you should kind of space out the stuff that you're planning across the weeks. Being prepared for when this will happen so that you have energy to do the thing that is difficult for you. And then afterwards, once you're done, also having time to recover and replenish energy in the way that feels natural for you. Also, what I found valuable is that you should kind of set up goals for you in terms of doing things that are out of character, right? So if you are an introvert, you can make a decision that you're going to go to one networking event a week, and your goal will be to have one meaningful conversation during this event. And then once you hit the goal and once you have this conversation and you have this connection, you can go home and you can read a book and do whatever you enjoy doing on your own, and not feel guilty about it. And I think that this is a crucial piece of the puzzle, like not being guilty about doing this, and like not being guilty to leave a party early, or like if you're somewhere and you just feel that this is not doing it for you and you're exhausted and you just cannot do this anymore, it's fine to leave and without feeling guilty. Also, I want to stress that you can have really clear and limited goals. Like you just want to have one conversation during the event. You don't want to meet 100 people. Also, I find that it's often much better to have one meaningful conversation than like 10 conversations where it's it's not even small talk, it's like nana talk, and like nothing happens in the conversation, and like some people enjoy it, some people hate it, but the value that comes out of it is, there is value. But also, if you find those conversations really difficult, maybe you should focus on just having one conversation and establishing one connection with a person, and this will be the result of the event. So that's also something that I found pretty interesting and actionable, I think. And another thing that I really liked is that if you're an introvert but you are in a career or job role where you are required to do something extroverted, and like by required I mean this is something that you need in order to be successful, in order to be promoted, like it's fine if you need to do that, and it's not it's not the end of your career if this is not something that you're comfortable with doing, but you need to be kind of, again, prepared, and you need to be aware of how much of this you need to do, when this needs to happen. You need to prep accordingly. You kind of need to understand like why you are doing this and not shy away from those things. Just learning the techniques of public speaking. If you need to do public speaking, it will remove so much of your anxiety around it. If you're well prepared, and even if you're introverted, but if you're well prepared, if you're coached in public speaking, if you have experience doing that, this will get easier, and this can be done. So don't dismiss careers where you might from time to time need to do something that doesn't feel naturally to you. If you're an introvert but you need to do public speaking, if you're a researcher but you will need to present your findings some of the times, still, like if most of the job that you're looking at fits your personality type, but then like occasionally you need to do things that are more challenging, it's fine. I think that the example that stuck with me from the book is that the author was talking about somebody who was saying that they're not enjoying, they're like feeling very drained by the extroverted activities that they need to do in their job. And I don't remember the specific example, but basically they were really suffering because they had to do something that was out of character. And she gave this idea that perhaps the reason wasn't that the activity itself was very hard, it was that the job in itself wasn't something that the person was supposed to be doing with their life. So it's kind of like, if you're feeling this way about whatever you're doing, it might be that it's not really that the job is going out of your kind of going against your personality. It might be that this is not something that you're like quote unquote supposed to do, or that you're interested in. Just a thought, I'm not sure like what to make of it, but would be interested to hear your thoughts on introversion and extroversion, how you deal with this. Do you believe in this? Because I also know that some people don't really buy this categorization. I think there is something there in terms of things that drain energy and things that bring energy, but I think a lot of it is just finding the balance. So let me know what your thoughts are. I'd be curious to hear about your experiences being an introvert and doing extroverted stuff, but also I'd be curious to hear about extroverts who are maybe stuck in very introverted roles and how you deal with it. Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.